You know that feeling when you finally decide to upgrade the bar in your kitchen, only to end up with a cheap countertop ice maker that sputters, clunks, and leaves you with a half-filled bin after a night of hosting. I've seen that happen so often that I always tell people to pause before they grab the lowest-priced unit on the shelf. The regret comes: fast ice that's misshapen, a machine that leaks, or a motor that quits after a few weeks. So today we are looking at a different angle. Does the Manitowoc NEO Series Undercounter ice machine feel like a smarter buy, or is it just another pricey promise? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of situation where an undercounter ice machine actually makes sense. Imagine you run a small-scale catering business, a boutique hotel bar, or even a home kitchen that sees a lot of cocktail activity. You need a reliable source of full-cube ice that won't require you to run to the freezer every hour. The NEO series is built for exactly that, a 26-inch wide footprint that slides neatly under a standard bar counter, a storage bin that holds about 90 pounds of ice, and the capacity to crank out up to 200 pounds of full-dice ice in a day when the conditions are right. Those numbers look good on paper, but the real test is how they hold up when you're actually making drinks for a crowd. One of the first things I noticed when setting this unit up was the built-in 5-micron water filtration system. In a commercial kitchen, you're dealing with hard water, sediment, and occasional chlorine taste. The filtration step actually makes a difference in the clarity of the ice cubes. No cloudy, milky blocks that melt faster than they should. For a home bar, the effect is subtler, but you still get clearer, slower melting ice, which keeps a cocktail's flavor profile more stable. That's a practical win if you care about the consistency of your drinks. The touchpad controls are another point worth mentioning. They are not flashy, but they are intuitive enough that you can set a cleaning cycle, check the bin full alert, or start a quick ice production run with a few taps. In a busy environment, that simplicity reduces the learning curve for staff or family members. I tried the quick make mode during a small gathering, and the machine began producing cubes within 5 minutes, which is faster than many countertop units I've used that can take 10 to 15 minutes just to start churning. Now, no piece of equipment is perfect, and the NEO series has a few hidden trade-offs. The first is the air-cooled R290 refrigerant system. It's an environmentally friendly choice, but because it relies on ambient air to dissipate heat, the unit needs a decent amount of clearance around the back and sides. If you try to cram it into a tight cabinet with poor ventilation, you'll notice the machine running hotter, the ice output dropping, and the motor humming louder. In a cramped bar where space is at a premium, you might have to rethink the layout, or accept a slightly lower daily output. Another practical weakness is the water filtration cartridge lifespan. The 5-micron filter does a great job, but it's also a consumable that needs replacement roughly every 6 months in a high-use setting. The cartridge isn't included in the base price, and while it's not outrageously expensive, the ongoing cost adds up if you're producing ice around the clock. For a home user who makes a few trays a week, it's a minor inconvenience. For a commercial operation, it becomes part of the regular maintenance budget. Speaking of maintenance, the machine does a decent job of reminding you when the storage bin is full or when a cleaning cycle is due, but it doesn't have an automatic water purge. That means you still have to manually drain the water from the bin and run a cleaning solution through the system every few weeks. It's not a huge chore, but it's something you need to schedule. Forgetting it can lead to mineral buildup that eventually clouds the ice, exactly the problem the filtration system is meant to avoid. Who should consider buying this unit? If you're a small restaurant, a boutique hotel, a high-traffic office lounge, or a home entertainer who regularly serves cocktails to a group of 10 or more, the NEO series delivers a level of convenience that outweighs its quirks. The capacity to produce 200 pounds of ice per day means you won't be caught short during a busy shift, and the clear, full ice cubes look professional in any glass. The built-in filtration also helps you avoid the off flavors that can come from tap water, which is a real advantage in places that serve premium spirits. On the flip side, if you're just looking for occasional ice for a family of 4, or if you already have a reliable freezer that can make ice cubes in bulk, the upfront cost and the need for regular filter changes may not justify the purchase. The unit also isn't ideal for ultra-tight spaces.